Welcome to my mini museum, Dance to Disco Part 2. I did a Dance to Disco episode a few months back, and it had tons of interest. So while, disco and dance music isn't my real forte, it is something that I have a lot of from having bought mixed variety boxes of 45 RPMs. I want the pop and the rock songs, and there's almost always some disco and country in there, so I end up with large collections of stuff that I'm not necessarily myself into, but I have them to share. And so, since the first one went off so well, here's the second one. And we're starting off with Donna Summer, Hot Stuff Baby This Evening. And the B-side being a song called Journey to the Center of Your Heart. Next up, I wanted to do Disco Inferno next, but I had another Donna Summer, and I like to keep things together, so we got I Feel Love, which is another Donna Summer song that I am familiar with, do recognize. Hit number 6 in 77. Old Hot Stuff there, they claim hit number 1 in March of 79. But I Feel Love is one of hers I also knew well. And Bad Girls. Oh, well, maybe this was the A side. Maybe I got that a little backwards because this hit number 1 in 79. Bad Girls. So, yeah. It says B side right there. And it still hit number 6 as a B side. So good job there. Yeah, see, A side. Good job there, Donna. All right. And here is our Hot Stuff. Disco Inferno by the Tramps. I definitely do remember that one. Now, I do like some disco songs. This one's not bad. Casey and the Sunshine Band, for example, had a number of songs that I like and enjoyed. Bee Gees, too. So I'm not a disco hater. I hated disco at the time because when disco came out and got real popular, we had a rock station, a country station, and a gospel station. And that was it. That's all you were picking up on the radio around where I was living. And when disco came in and got all popular, the rock station switched over to disco. Well, that's part of the reason why I became such an avid collector of music. If I wanted to hear rock, I wanted to hear Led Zeppelin, I had to buy the album. So that's what I was doing. But that's why I hated disco, because it killed off my rock and roll radio. But the B-side here is That's Where the Happy People Go. And I know I've got a couple of different copies of that Tramps version of Disco Inferno. Not sure if they're all the same B-side or not. Sometimes you pick up vinyls and they will have different B-sides, which makes it fun collecting them. Here we've got Alicia Bridges doing I Love the Nightlife in the Disco Round. She hit number 5 with that one in 78. And you'll notice most of these discos, they're 70s, very early 80s. Probably from the early to mid 70s to the very early 80s. That was the lifespan for disco. After that, it pretty much faded away. B-side here being Self Applause, which isn't a song that I'm at all familiar with. Now this one, I'm not sure if this one's actually technically disco. R-E-S-B-C-T, Find Out What It Means to Me by Aretha Franklin. So I'm not real positive that one would be disco so much as maybe pop, but dance, yeah, it's definitely dance music, right? And that's what this is about, dance disco. And it's kind of funny here, surprising, we got Dr. Feelgood on the B-side. To me, that's Motley Crue. He's the one that called it Feelgood. And I can guarantee this ain't the same song as Aretha Franklin. Wouldn't be doing Motley Crue, and Motley Crue wasn't covering Aretha. So that's just a funny title when you're into one thing and you find that in another. So here we got We Are the World doing USA for Africa, or excuse me, we got USA for Africa during We Are the World. We Are the Michael Jackson was really big on that. Lionel Richie apparently wrote that song, the two of them. And on the B-side, we got Quincy Jones doing Grace. So that's kind of kind of interesting that we got a Quincy Jones song on the B-side of that. Now, I know this was a picture sleeve. I have seen a picture sleeve of this before, but I did not acquire it with the picture sleeve, so I'm sure it gave us a lot more information about who all appeared on it. But that's going all the way back to 1985, and I definitely do remember that being the first of many of those kind of charitable things that you had Farm Aid and Live Aid and all this stuff. Well, I think We Are the World was one of the beginners of that trend. Next up, we've got Isaac Hayes doing the theme from Shaft. Yeah, that was a good movie. I love that movie. I have all three of the Shaft movies, actually, and they all have their moments, but the first one was definitely the best. But he hit #1 with the theme from Shaft, so good job there, Mr. Hayes. And the B-side of that being theme from The Men, instrumental. Now, that I'm not familiar with. I don't know what they're talking about there at all. But interesting. All right, so you can't do dance and disco without coming across the Jacksons. So here we've got the Jacksons doing Enjoy Yourself, which is a song that doesn't ring any bells for me, but since it hit #6 in December of '76, there's a good possibility I might recognize it. Even if you weren't listening to the radio back then, it was all around you, you know, it was in stores, background music, it's everywhere. So even a song that you may not like, if it was popular, you know it, you recognize it, you remember it. But here we've got the B-side of this one being a song called Style of Life. And we got a couple Jacksons here. Next one up is Shake Your Body Down to the Ground. That's definitely got to be disco. And they're definitely talking about dancing when you're shaking your body to the ground. Hit #7 with that one. And the B-side of That's What You Get for Being Polite. That don't sound like very nice, does it? All right, this next one, this is definitely dance music. Not disco, but definitely 80s dance music. Der Kammerschur from After the Fire. And the Dancing in the Shadows being the B-side of that one. So I guess it's one of those I'm going to need to try and get in the light a little bit better so you can actually see that. But Der Kammerschur kind of, Der Kammerschur's in town. I think, something like that. I don't know, you sing it. Not my thing. Like I said, here's another one, you know, cameo during Word Up. I know the song, but should I even attempt to sing it to you? I don't think so. But Word Up, yeah, that definitely even entered the slang word. Urban Warrior being on the B-side of that one. But yeah, that's definitely something you could dance to. And next up, we got another Jackson, being Jermaine Jackson. And get that out of there. He's doing Let's Get Serious, which they say hit #9 in May of 1980. And the B-side is a song. I Love You is the translation of it. J'avous aimé beaucoup. Sorry, probably murdered that. I'm not French. And I'm clearly not very good at singing French. So, next up we've got a picture sleeve of the Jacksons. Jackson 5, State of Shock. Now I believe this was when they tried to have a comeback after kind of tapering off for a while, and Michael hitting it so big, they all came back and tried to have this victory. But anyways, that is a pretty cool picture there. And I just accidentally popped that out of the middle of it by trying to pick it up. I usually take those out anyways because they will press into the picture sleeves and mess them up, something fierce. But here we've got the label for you, State of Shock, with a B-side of Your Ways. Yeah, so I didn't want that insert in there anyways. And next up, we've got a few picture sleeves here in a row. I'm not going to do separate videos for picture sleeves anymore. I'm just going to run them in as we run across them. And 6-shooter. That definitely sounds like something that Prince would have been involved with, and I do believe Apollonia 6 was Apollonia, I think it is 6, was something that he was involved with. It says produced by the Star Company. It doesn't say anything about him on here, but I do think he was involved with them in some manner or fashion. So it's given songwriting credits to the band, so I don't know. But there's the A side of the single for you, and here's the B side, which is In a Spanish Villa, which again is credited to the band on songwriting credits. So I don't know if I'm right about the Prince connection there or not. You can correct me in the comment section. Fill us all in. I just for some reason seem to remember there being some kind of connection between him and that band. Mary Jane Girls, Walk Like a Man. This is definitely some kind of dance music. I like the way that the footsteps there actually kind of look like bunny ears coming off of her head. Yeah. And I got a kind of a laugh out of that when I was looking at that earlier. It's like, looks like she got big bunny ears. Alright, but here's the Mary Jane Girls with Walk Like a Man, and the old B-side being Shadow Lover. So, that's going to wrap up our Dance to Disco Part 2. I will have many more parts as long as you guys show some interest and want to see this stuff. I've got lots of disco to show off, and lots more country and western too if you want to see those. Just leave me comments. Feedback is very helpful and lets me know what is appreciated and what isn't. I definitely appreciate all of my subscribers, and I appreciate all the thumbs up that you honor me with. So have a great day. See you next time.